morning, people wake up knowing that they have a duty to attend to. Some are excited about it, while some are not. Not necessarily because they don't like the job that they are into, even though I know that can be some people's case, but because they have horrible bosses or annoying colleagues. So if you fall into this category or not to worry, because I want you to make sure you watch this program to the end, because you will definitely learn something, whether you are actually in your workplace or your workplace. This is Just with 7 here on 7 TV. My name is Patience Okai. Let's quickly take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
For advert placement, you can call the number on your screen.
And you can visit our website at www.7fm.tv.
7TV Nigeria.
7 TV.
7 TV. It's all about you.
Welcome back. It's Just with 7 here on 7 TV, and we're going to be talking about something that you are actually very familiar with: workplace or workplace. I love the fact that we're actually talking about this particular topic, and I feel it's very important that people need to understand a whole lot of things under this context, because people spend 1/3 of their life in their workplace, and when it's toxic like that, it really calls for a whole lot of attention. So I want to get an understanding from you guys concerning workplace. What can we actually say? What are the factors that leads to a workplace becoming toxic? And instead of people seeing it as a workplace, they now see it as a war place, or a place that they don't even want to find themselves in anymore.
It would differ with different people, and a number of factors, a number of reasons, some of which might be from the person or from the environment that the person actually is working in. But I find that I think what I would consider the two biggest factors that actually might be the worst culprits in this situation would be, one, that most people settle, being that they get to work in places that naturally they probably wouldn't have loved to, but because of the economic situation of the country or because of their personal economic situations, they decide to settle for just about anything, So it is there's going to be a high tendency for people within this group to have job apathy. You understand, workplace apathy. There's also the case of having horrible bosses, especially, I'm not even going to, I know that colleagues can be a little can be piece of work sometimes, but I'm not looking at the colleague aspect of things, because it's easier to say I can handle a colleague, but when it's your boss who's giving you grief, who's bearing down on you, it becomes a real issue. So for me, I think these are the two main causative factors for workplace, and it will lead to it comes with many other things, right? When you're not satisfied, the truth of the matter is that those things could even lead you to be the person who you're the toxic person within the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people actually venture into things they're not supposed to do. And when you get to that place, you're like, what am I doing here? And the whole thing is choking you, you can't deliver, you're unhappy. So no matter how conducive their environment is something that can be very toxic. He goes out and be like, oh my, these people are suffocating me. Nobody's doing anything for, but you're not in the right place at the right time. So sometimes making the wrong career choices can also be a toxic work environment already for you. Can even create that without adding to what other things he has already said.
You actually said almost everything I wanted to say, but let me build a bit on what Manuel said. He talks about economic situation, right, and then your own personal situation or economic challenge. On economic, what if you come to Africa, like let me use Nigeria for instance, you discover that a lot of people underemployment is what is on the train. Like people get underemployed for what they are qualified to do. So if you're having personal economic challenge, and then you're underemployed, it tends to make you, have this poor attitude towards work, and everything just irritates you because you've set a financial standard for yourself, and where you're working is not meeting up. So you don't get so committed to your work. So everything just irritates you.
Yeah,
money can also make you happy, even if you're not on your purpose, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're paid well for a job that probably you're not even have passion for, you can find a way to create your passion out of it. So in line with passion, also what makes Nigerians or anybody in quotes become very feel very toxic about a particular environment is how much the person is receiving. You do.
I feel because yes, if even if you're passionate about a thing, the fact is that passion will not pay bills, right? Passion will not help you take that girl out on that nice day, that kind of stuff. So as much as we need to look at it and say you're not in the place that you're finding fulfillment and all of those things, I think it's a mishmash of a couple of varying factors, right?
Exactly.
If there's equilibrium across board, I think it's going to really go a long way to helping the person find job satisfaction. But I need to really point out something, because I think I've noticed this personally. As much as people we've mentioned what we've mentioned, but there are cases where people are actually in the place that they feel this is where I'm supposed to be. They're making the right amount of money, but a point comes when they feel bored with that thing. Like
exactly,
they've been at this. I know of a person who started a job. He loved it, but the problem that he had with that job that made him wake up every day and wouldn't want to just go to work is that he already knew how the job would start. He already knew how it was going to end. He knew that when he got to the office, he needed to sort this paper and then put it here and then punch this into the system and all of that. And at some point, after working for a while, it got boring, right? It got really, really boring. So I think that because definitely human beings love change.
Challenging jobs.
They love to
also.
not challenging.
Not everybody likes
not everybody,
it.
but I'm talking about change. See,
Yes.
not everybody would love a job that will actually challenge. Some people are quite comfortable with knowing that my job is easy. I know what to do
No,
when I get
exactly.
When I talk about challenging jobs,
Okay.
a job that gives you an opportunity to be creative.
Not everybody.
there. Not everybody wants that
Yes.
actually.
Some people
Not-
want to
not
go to the
everyone.
office and they receive the entailers and they
They just sign
collect
And they're
this
very
and
comfortable
they're
with
okay
that.
They're okay,
Yes.
but there's some individuals that are not produced or made to be like that. When you talk about purpose, and some people not, your purpose might not be able to, or your passion, might not be able to give you money. The act of monetizing, learning how to convert your passion into money is what gives you money, not the passion itself.
Exactly.
Right? So Davido is a singer and in quotes, and he loves music. But if he didn't learn the act of selling music
Yes.
and producing music for sale, he might not be able to make money out of it.
And he'll be
trust
frustrated
me,
out of it.
that a lot of people that can sing on and Davido everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the act of passion and also knowing how to convert it to money will give you the money that you need to.
Okay, so
Let
sorry.
me say something. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. We talked about the issue of money. All that you said. Sometimes, even if the place you find yourself working is not what you've been passionate about, but if there is high, remuneration, you get to be excited. Well, as much as that is true within some society, not general, but we're trying to look at the general working environment, right? It might not also be the case for everybody. I'll give you an
Exactly.
instance. There is this billion company, a million pounds company. I mean, in the UK, all right. The man, one of his manager, he's highly paid, like in millions. But at a point, he told the owner of the company, "I'm not interested. I don't want to work again." The man was wondering, I pay you well. What is happening? Why don't you want to work? He said, "Well, I have passion for making drinks. What do you call it?
Wine.
All this wine,
wineries.
beverages and all of that."
Okay.
And the man said, "You didn't tell me this." So that is how that company extended to have a very big beverage company. So you can see where passion comes. He was earning the money. I mean, in millions, which everybody might want to feel comfortable. But for him, that was not what drives him. So he wanted to do what
No,
he
but
loved.
Sorry to cut you guys short, because like we've already said, there are so many factors to the reason why a workplace can actually become a war place, because a lot of people have different understanding and different mindsets when they are in a work environment. And I feel like let's just try to shift it a little bit in connection with what you guys are saying. But I'm looking at the aspect of strife. You understand? I'm saying strive because some people are actually in an organization or places that they don't know, or they don't have that understanding that they are working as a team. Instead of them working together, they tend to see themselves as I don't know, they're trying to like stand out to be better than the other person, not knowing that their competitors are outside, not inside. So I believe these are one of the reasons that can actually make people feel they are in a toxic place. And it's very important that people understand whether they have a weakness or strength. When they understand this both, they are able to make sure that they work on themselves, because sometimes, like you said,
I want to really understand when you say weakness or strength, with respect to what?
No, yes, that's still the strive I'm talking about. In organizations, we have different expertise. You know your strengths, you know your weakness. So instead of trying to probably do what another person can even do better than you just allow the person.
That one is not even for me. If you get to the office, if you must have issues with somebody, whether they're in your department, whether they're not in your department, whether you're doing the same thing, whether you're not doing the same thing, somebody can just wake up and decide that, look, I'm going to make you my business for as long as I'm in this office. You will be my business.
That is quite understandable,
so
and that is an aspect.
From what you have said now, the point I'm trying to make is that I think if you are in an organization where there is strife, the company should have a conflict resolution policy and all of these things. So if you are going to an office, you might not be able to control how a person views you. You might be this kind of person who there are certain people who like to have things done perfectly, excellently. If this cup must be this way, it must be this way. Then there are people who would say that this person, you just like to show yourself. Why you like to show yourself? You understand? And it doesn't mean that you will drop your standard for that person. It doesn't mean that the person is going to come and meet you halfway. The point remains that person is his own man, and that issue will continue there. So in this case, how exactly do you say you want to even control that kind of thing? Because it depends on your nature. If you're the kind of person who you don't react back, you just swallow whatever people are dishing you. Truth is that you keep getting depressed and not liking what you're feeling or seeing, and it could be that it's coming from.
What do you actually think is the right approach to that? Because we understand that, okay, fine, we know people tend to have issues in their workplace. So, and you're saying if you're that kind of person that it will get to a point that you would not really like it, you would have to lash out. So is that really the right thing to do?
I think when it comes to strife in the workplace, being able to understand the fact that he said that everybody is different. The way I process things as a person is quite different. The way John he processes things as a person is also different. Being able to understand all of these things and know that it's possible that patients will step on my toes very soon, or once, or I may even step on.
Well, at this point, I'm going to act.
Yes, but you learn to communicate it properly is what. Strife can never, and people can never understand you if being who I am, it might seem authoritative to some people, even the way I walk, even the way I answer questions, even the way I don't bend to my opinion. I say my mind the way it's supposed to be said, actually very politely, and
people would definitely have issues with you one way or the other.
So as a person, as a lady, I've learned not to bow down. I've learned not to reduce myself for people. I can grow. I can learn from you. I can ask questions. I can ask, what do you think? But when it comes to selling myself short because I want to glorify some patients, I don't think I would do that. As far as it's a workplace, I don't think I would do that. But I respect Pat's opinion, and I respect the fact that she's good at what she does. But I cannot sell myself small to be able to accommodate parts insecurities.
The question now is, and probably I think after that you should what you want to say.
Sorry to cut you. At this point, we quickly have to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue.
For advert placement, you can call the number on your screen.
And you can visit our website at www.7fm.tv.
7TV Nigeria.
7TV. 7TV. It's all about you.
Welcome back. It's just with 7 here on 7 TV, and of course I have my amazing guys here, and we are talking about workplace and workplace. Jomani, you were saying something before I had to cut you.
So I was saying, first and foremost, I think I would want to advise against anticipating an issue with a colleague.
Yes.
Right? Anticipating it is probably going to find a way of expediting the entire thing. It's going to create it faster. So one thing, as much as probably you come to the office, you say hi to everybody, there's one person there who doesn't reciprocate the hi as much as you expect, and you begin to feel like, why is this person? You maybe one day now you keep your phone and the person comes and hits the phone and it falls down and you're like, I said it, this person's had it in for me since, But my question is, if this person actually has meant to, decide to make your life at the office there very, very, very painful, right? There's what do you do? Like you said here, that you're not going to reduce yourself for this person. It could be that you and the part in quotes actually probably work in the same department or something like that. But what if this person doesn't just like you because you look like somebody who got them fired from their previous job?
I've seen some cases where people have annoying bosses, like people that can actually be on their neck, but at the end of the day, character comes to play. See, let me tell you, no matter how bad someone is, there's always a soft spot around the person somehow. It might not come immediately, but just do your own. And I feel sometimes when people complain about having mean bosses and all of that, if you are diligent in your work, because if you try as much as you can not to get on this person's toe, you're doing your work accurately, it will go a long way to reduce. And aside that, your character should always be. It's not easy. We are living in a system whereby we're living in a system whereby a lot of people do not enjoy what they do, what they are currently doing. But then the most important thing is that if you have your choice to make, it's your choice to stay or leave. But if you're staying, definitely you have to know what works for you.
All right, let me say something, all right?
Okay.
So I think we should, of course, even before preparing to work, you should have basic thing in mind, all right? So for me, I think the society is fractured in a way where you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. For me, the good, the bad,
and you find them everywhere.
So you find them everywhere.
Exactly.
The office environment is a small portion of the society, the largest
exactly.
society. So those set of people, you still find them there. So first, for me, I think you should prepare your mind to meet such kind of people. Secondly, it's not everybody is going to like you in an office environment. Okay, like you said, if some persons could have terrible attitude towards you, and you're trying to. The thing is, no matter how you try to kill yourself for some people, they will not feel like
you. They will never.
That's true, but this is not the aspect of you killing yourself.
They will never like you.
Do everything. Yeah. They will not like you. They will not like you. I had someone who worked in the NNPC.
Okay, so what about praying about it?
Praying.
Yeah, you
what
know,
was that? Why you making
prayer works? So
no, it works.
Let him continue.
Okay,
please.
it works. All right, I have one of my friends. She told me of one of her boss. The man, he's a Muslim man. Okay, she's a Christian. I don't know. It might not be on religious basis, but she's a humble, but like he does extra thing to make the guy happy. He doesn't like her. He frustrates her.
So cases when you have people like that, what is the best thing to do?
I even want to put it in perspective. Sorry, before you even answer that question, let me put it in perspective so that we even understand how serious it is. We're not even talking about the case of a boss right now.
Colleague.
It's your colleague. Right? If it's your boss, it becomes a bigger issue. It's a bigger devil for you to fight. But this is your colleague now who has decided. It could even be a boss. Let's even go ahead and say it's a boss. And it's different that the person doesn't like you and the person is not greeting you, but then the person is not getting in the way of your business. But imagine that the person is doing things to undermine you and probably even get you fired because there are people.
Yeah.
There are people like that. You don't
Yes,
just say. You
people
don't
do
just
that.
say. You don't just say. Oh, my good character is gonna make me live.
No,
They don't work at
no.
times.
Excuse me.
Let me tell
See,
you.
if the person is not getting your way, sister, pack your bags and mind your business. Do your
Okay.
job and get home.
So if there is no
if the
option
person is
about that.
undermining you, your job to your boss, that's when you stand up for yourself. You understand? Talk to the person as much as polite as you can be
So-
for the first time.
Okay.
So,
no,
sorry,
no.
I'm
My
sorry.
own
The next
point.
time you
Yes,
scratch
you
their-
would. Sorry.
Okay.
You come.
Okay.
So when you're saying Chat Olachi, when you were saying the person should pack his or her belongings and leave.
No,
Not
she didn't say
leave.
leave.
I
She said
said,
mind
mind
your
your
business.
Stay your
business.
lane.
You
Be in
came
your
to
lane,
work,
yeah.
so work.
Be in your
Okay.
So
lane.
he can beat himself up or she.
And-
anybody.
and
Provided
keep
it's not
being-
getting in the way of your
Absolutely.
job.
Do your
Okay.
job.
The person
and
just
be
hates you
gone.
for you
So your
and just
family
hate
meetings, they work
you.
in very
Fine
well.
and good, no problem.
Austin,
Let
you
me
wanted
just
to tell us
round up.
something.
You know, like I said, the three category of people: good, bad, and the ugly. Okay, so number one, you need to know that you find them in every place, even in the office environment. So one, you need to make up your mind. And I think you need to know also the office is a formal environment, in as much as there is room for a section of cordiality, you know, informal relation,
yeah.
yes, in the office environment, all right. But you need to also know that 70% of the office environment is should be a formal conversation.
Exactly.
So knowing that is going to help you, it's going to suit, help you relieve of some of those things.
Yeah, that is being professional.
Being professional. So you mind your business. And also you talked about prayer. Sometimes you pray. And there were times that for me, waking up in the morning, I just like, God, I don't want to have issues with anybody in the office. A particular thought of somebody comes to my
This
mind.
office.
Yeah, at the point, a particular thought of one person comes to my mind.
Wow.
Because for me, I've tried to why? Why does this person
Spill
do
it, bro. Let's spill
Don't-
it.
I've tried to do extra things, even against my natural kind of person, like to just make the person happy. But everything is an attack. Everything is an attack. But I think things
My
are
head
really
is- my head is-
working out fine now.
So how did you do
Interesting.
it? How did you achieve it? Wow, it's nice. I think we need
Yeah,
to share.
Yeah, I was able to achieve that. I had to take extra step, extra step in my relationship, extra step to make the person happy, extra step to do things that, even in my approach, I had to take it so much light. Of course, sometimes you need to be formal, right? But I think sometimes I try to use extra informality in trying to, talk
Well,
to the
yes,
person.
in lending credence to what patient said, I think somehow there's a place where we need to really agree with what patient said because.
Okay,
the
so you
truth-
guys didn't agree in the first place. I wanted to know.
The truth of the matter is, if you begin to get such kind of attitude from a particular person or a boss in the office, I like to say that it is best to be beyond reproach, to say that I have done all that I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
And when it gets to the point where you can, come to the tipping point, it can, whatever happens.
Boomerang,
So
yeah.
it should be said that, and it would be good if there's one or two witnesses and testimony because that really helps. And I have a friend who actually it worked for. She was in a position, she was hated by her superior, right? Yeah. And the superior kind of had a very good relationship with the CEO of the company. So every time, this one was always taking bad reports about her to the CEO, and it just painted her bad in the sight of the CEO. So she was always trying to, be nice. Stop saying this. No, I didn't do this. And stuff like that.
So, well,
interesting.
The truth of the matter is, no, but the point I'm trying to make is that this person actually did everything that she could, just to maintain. And it came to a point when that superior told a lie, a classic lie. But because there were witnesses, there were people that attest to the fact that she's been no, she's been actually been nice to you. So I would think that a strategy would be, if you must be nice to that person, be nice to the person in public. Let everybody see.
For advert placement, you can call the number on your screen.
And you can visit our website at www.7fm.tv.
7TV Nigeria.
7TV. 7TV. It's all about